Hello and welcome to caboodleprinting.com. My name is Scott. I'm going to talk to you today about setting up and saving a print-ready file using Adobe Illustrator. Now for this video we're using version CS5. This tutorial is really universal for all versions of Illustrator, so it doesn't matter if you're using Adobe Illustrator CS6 or Adobe Illustrator CS, this will still work out just the same. Let's start by opening up Adobe Illustrator. Okay, now that we're open, we're going to go up to File and New. The first thing we want to do here is name this file. So in that first box, we're going to highlight it and type in demo file. Below that's the number of artboards. Artboards are essentially the number of pages you're going to build, and for this we're going to build one. Next up is unit of measure. There's a drop-down menu here with a few different choices. We're going to select inches. To the left of that, we're going to set the size of our document. The width is going to be 5.5 inches. And the height's going to be 8.5 inches. Next up is bleed. Common bleed here at Caboodle Printing is 1/8 of an inch. So in that first box, we're going to type in 0.125. And all the way to the right here, you're going to see a small button with a chain link. We're going to click that, and that'll set our bleed to 1/8 of an inch all the way around our document. Below that's color mode. Again, there's a drop-down menu here with a few different choices. We're going to select CMYK as that's common for print. All it's left to do is click OK. That will display your 5.5 by 8.5 inch document with 1/8 inch bleed indicated by the red line. The next step is to create a safety zone. The safety zone is essentially an imaginary border where all critical type and graphics should never exceed. We here at Caboodle like to use 1/8 of an inch. This will ensure during the trimming process that nothing gets cut off that shouldn't. To do this, simply go up to View, and Rulers, and Show Rulers. Now all we want to do is drag over from the left 2 rulers and set them 1/8 of an inch from the left and right edge of your document. This doesn't have to be a perfect process. Again, it's just an imaginary border for your reference. Then we'll drag 2 rulers down from the top and set them 1/8 of an inch from top and bottom edge of your document. Same thing applies here, just using our ruler to the left as our gauge. And there you have it. There's your 1/8 inch safety zone. Now we're all but ready to create our design with a proper document setup. However, I'm going to pause here to show you something that will make sending your art much easier for you and your printer. It's a process we call creating outlines for fonts. When designing at home, you may have fonts installed that your printer doesn't. To prevent any issues on the printer's end, we recommend you outline your fonts, which is essentially the same as changing them to an object rather than a font. This way, if your printer doesn't have your font installed, they will not have any issues viewing your file or manipulating it in the case that we have to. Now I'm going to show you how to do that. First, I'm just going to drop in a background. I'll change the color of this so you can see it a little bit better. We'll drop in a text box. And we'll pick a font that we're familiar with. Type something in. We'll change the size of that so you can see it. Center it, and we'll make it white. Okay, now that we have that, we're going to grab our selection tool and hover over our font, and we'll right click on it. One of the choices down here is create outlines. You can see once you do that, the text becomes an object and is no longer type. Now when you send this off to the printer, they will not have any issues viewing this particular font. We recommend you doing this step at the very end of your designing process, as you may want to change your text throughout, and you don't want the font to be an object when doing so. The last step here is just to save this file. We're going to go up to File, Save As. We've already named it Demo File, so we don't need to do anything there. Down here in this drop-down menu, we're going to want to select PDF. pick an area where we want to save it to. We're going to save it to our desktop. Select Save. In this top drop-down menu here, we're going to want to select High Quality Print. And to the left over here, where it says Marks and Bleeds, we're going to want to select Trim Marks. And below that, Use Document Bleed Settings. As you can see, it's already set to 1/8 of an inch. All it's left to do now is save this PDF. I'm going to minimize this and open up our file, and there you have it. A perfect print-ready document with 1/8 inch bleed and trim marks. All ready to send to your printer, and hopefully that printer is Caboodle Printing. Thank you for taking the time today to watch our video tutorial on how to set up and save a print-ready file using Adobe Illustrator.